Seeds of Success began in 2000 and 2001 when Congress recognized the need for native plant materials to be available to restore our public lands after wildfire and other disturbance. Our collections include about 13,000 actual collections from wild lands. They're native species in the United States. They're common species that you might see on the landscape, and they really help support the ecosystem. They help support the wildlife.
And in southern Nevada, the collection will be important for restoring the food sources of one particular threatened reptile.
The species we're really interested in are common Mojave species, and our goal is to develop species that are good forage for desert tortoise.
Because the need is great and the scale of the project so large, the regional BLM office was eager for the expertise and support of the plant propagation team at the preserve.
They were doing a lot of native plant materials development, growing native plants, collecting seeds from native plants, and that's a really good fit because BLM does a lot of habitat restoration, and we were hoping to really sort of tie the two programs together. It takes all sorts of partners, and it's a long-term project.
Which benefits immensely from college-educated interns who have a real zeal for seed collection.
I was an environmental planning major and I had a lot of background in biology classes. I've also worked doing plant propagation with the Cranberry Blueberry Research Center back in New Jersey, so I have experience working in greenhouses and working with plants. I've always enjoyed it. And working outside is something I've always had a passion for.
When I heard about Seeds of Success, it's like, oh, perfect. This program is, working towards using natives and, trying to return a population to something that is stable and doesn't just focus on having plants there, but also how plants interact with the animals at that site.
With their backgrounds and a little field training in Mojave Desert ecology, they were soon ready to collect according to a rigorous Seeds of Success protocol.
We're getting people who can hit the ground running. They're trained in plant taxonomy and systematics, so it's nice to be able to give them some direction and they can just run with it. So we can accomplish a lot more, a lot quicker, having that knowledge already.
Along with their collection duties, they are just as willing to sow some seeds of knowledge about the vitality and importance of plants among the guests at the Springs Preserve.
At a place like the Springs Preserve or another nonprofit Botanic Garden Arboreta, you have a much wider audience. You have visitors coming here every day, so it's easy to educate.
At the preserve, the interns have found a perfect setting for teaching and learning.
They have a botanic garden and they have a sustainable living center, and they have all of these things that really get the public involved in being a community. How do we live in the desert and be responsible?
I have really been appreciative of the two different sides of this internship so far, with working with the public and doing the community outreach and going out in the field and working in different harsh conditions, collecting seeds, learning plant identification, and just I feel like taking that and moving forward in my career and my growth as a professional will be really great.
And noble too, because it's a career move inspired by the need to conserve these irreplaceable seeds and serve the people of the earth who might not always appreciate them but cannot live as well without them.
We are in the midst of a biodiversity crisis for native plants. We are losing our native species at a rate that's never really been seen before. And Seeds of Success is almost a Noah's Ark, so to speak. We're capturing genetic diversity for our native plant species. That's really in the best interest of humanity.